The finals of the Max Heart Tag Tournament are set. I am Chris with the Joshi Wrestling Recap for TJPW January 29th, 2022, available on Wrestle Universe. The semifinals of the Max Heart Tag Tournament took place. TJPW is making their shows entertaining, and this was no exception. This was a multi-camera show with no commentary. Disappointingly, there was no Up Up Girls song and dance. Raku was unable to make the show. We opened with a singles match, Yuka Sakazaki versus Mahiro Kiru. The winner of this match was not in doubt, but Yuka still kept the match fun and engaging. Bully Yuka made an appearance in this match. The match started pretty traditionally before Yuka got frustrated. Mahiro was giving her more trouble than she was expecting. Yuka then sat on Mahiro's chest and slapped her on the forehead and poked Mahiro in the eyes. Mahiro complained to the ref about Yuka's behavior, and while this was all happening, Yuka left the ring and got a chair. I don't really want to break down the whole sequence of events that followed, but it is interesting to see Yuka play the heel more recently. Mahiro Kiro did get some offense in, but it took longer than Yuka was expecting to win, which fed into her bully tendencies. Yuka Sakazaki did get the win after delayed brainbuster for the pinfall. The second match was a trios match, the team of Hyper Masao, Marika Kobashi, and Shoko Nakajima versus Suzume, Arisu Endo, and Kora Tayabami. Marika Kobashi came to the ring wearing a Hyper Masao mask and cape, and the reason why would be revealed a bit later. A little bit after the match started, Hyper Masao was isolated by Arisu and Suzumi. Masao was able to get out of the situation by spraying them both in the eyes with her cold spray. What followed was some very inventive Hyper Masao shenanigans. Everyone got a point to shine in this match, and was busy like most trios matches. It was Arisu Endo and Shoko Nakajima in the end of the match. After the ring was cleared from a previous pin breakup, Shoko pinned Arisu with a bridging suplex for the win. Shoko Nakajima's willingness to go along with Hyper Masao's plan usually makes for some entertaining matches. The third match on the card was a three-way match, Palm Harajuku versus Mizuki versus Naoko Kuda. Palm's plans don't work as well as Hyper Masao's, but she tries. Palm came out with a sign on her back and she was pretending she was the ring crew and kneeled outside the ring. Her plan didn't work though. Mizuki and Naoko Kuda went outside the ring and threw Palm back in. A chaotic match followed. Palm Harajuku brings chaos in her matches, and Mizuki thrives in chaotic matches. Naoko Kuda was kind of a glue that held the match together while Palm and Mizuki were doing their thing. At one point, Mizuki took off one of Palm's shoes and used it as a weapon, while Palm was only wearing one shoe for the rest of the match. Mizuki was able to get the pin on Palm Harajuku for the win. I am not sure what to call the move she won with though. It looked like a flipping leg drag. I don't remember using it before as a finisher. The next match was a tag match between the teams of Miyu Yamashita with Maki Ito versus Hikari Noa and Neko Haruna. The story of this match was that Miyu Yamashita and Maki Ito just couldn't get on the same page. Their double team moves were off throughout the match. Miyu Yamashita has had a simmering storyline that her heart and focus has fallen, and Maki keeps trying to bring her out of her funk. While Miyu Yamashita is still the champ, she is less dominant since about last summer or so. Miyu and Hikari started for their teams and tried a lot of headlock takeovers. When Maki was tagged in, she tried to do Haruna Neko's rope walk spot, but fell when Hikari shook the ropes. Neko then showed Maki how it is done. Throughout the match, Maki or Miyu would have control and something would go wrong and they would be a bit off, and they would have to fight to get control back. Miyu Yamashita did get the win at the end by pinning Haruna Neko with an attitude adjustment. I would like to bring attention to at one point in the match, Haruna Neko did pull out a new move, a sunset pin similar to Raku's, but with a Neko twist. I guess it was in honor of Raku who wasn't at the show. The first Max Heart tournament match of the night was next, Rika Tatsumi and Miyu Watanabe versus Moko Miyamoto and Yuki Arai. This was a match of tag team veterans in Rika and Miyu. They were the former tag champs, versus the plucky underdogs Yuki and Mocha, who got further in the tournament than was expected. Rika and Miyu had a plan to take out the opposing team's best weapon, Yuki Arai's kicks. When able, throughout the match, they would just work over Yuki's legs. With Yuki Arai's kicks being weaker, Mocha tried to compensate with her karate skills, and did a decent job, but it just wasn't enough. Miyu's strength and Rika's hip attacks were just too much for Mocha, and a hobbled Yuki to handle. Miyu Watanabe won after hitting Moka Miyamoto with a teardrop for the pinfall win. Miyu Watanabe and Rika Tatsumi move on to the finals of the Max Heart Tag Tournament. That brings us to the main event, the other semifinals match of the Max Heart Tag Tournament, Nodoka Tenma with Yuki Aino versus Yuki Kamifuku and Asuka, who goes by Veni outside of Japan. If the story of the last match was veterans versus underdogs, this match was teamwork versus individuality. Nodoka Tenma and Yuki Aino are former tag champs and real-life sisters, while Yuki Kamifuku and Asuka are strong but don't have the teamwork that the other team does. Throughout the match, Yuki Kamifuku or Asuka would have an advantage before Nodoka or Yuki Aino would help the other to prevent them from losing. The power of teamwork won the day. Near the end, Asuka kicked Yuki Kamifuku accidentally, and that led to a gut-wrench suplex followed by the Bakuratsu Bulldog finisher on Yuki Kamifuku, and Yuki Aino got the pin for the win. The sisters move on to the finals. Overall, this was a fun and enjoyable show. My favorite matches were the final match and the three-way match, although I realize chaotic matches like the three-way are not everyone's cup of tea. The next TJPW show is on February 5th, but will be a smaller show. The finals of the Max Heart Tag Tournament are happening February 10th. This has been the Joshi Wrestling Recap for TJPW January 29th, 2022. Thanks for listening.